Howdy, folks. How are we getting on today? Do whenever I say that, do leave a wee message. Let me know how we are actually getting on, because I like to hear from you and I like feedback. Um, I like it whenever people come on and they say disagree or agree with me. Entirely up to yourselves. But do leave a wee comment. Let me know how we're getting on and share it. Tag it up, send it to people, all that kind of stuff. Now, since I've been in the States a few times now, um, we always try and find the local guy or the small guy and give them a shout or have a look at it or buy a wee bottle or whatever. But you have to go for sometimes some of the bigger guys and more established brands. And this one, yes, I mean, George Dickel, you see loads of places. And it's one of the sort of big guys, fairly easily available, really cheap. I think this is like $25 a bottle, something like that, $30 a bottle. Um, Now, this is probably the second most famous Tennessee whiskey. I'll not give a plug to the big one. Tennessee whiskies are not bourbons. I had this argument with a girl who seemed to think she knew more about whiskey than me. Possibly did. I'm not saying she didn't, but she said, "Oh no, Jack Daniels, George Dickel is a bourbon. No, it's not a bourbon. It's a Tennessee whiskey. It uses the Lincoln County method, which is where they run it through uh, charcoal maple. Now, a couple of things about this. One, anytime something says that on the bottle, you automatically think it's 12 years old. It's not. Okay? We don't necessarily like the word the 12 on a bottle. That doesn't mean an age statement. Know what I mean, Harry? Um, I can't mention Harry. Yes, he gets upset. For me, Harry. Um, aye, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You go on the website, and thankfully, because I like this about bourbons, because bourbon has to be 51% corn. The rest of it can be made up. And they actually give you the mash bill on this. So it's 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% barley. And I think that's nice that they have that transparency. A lot of the smaller guys don't do this, and you should. The small guys should do this because the big guys are quite happy to share their recipes. They're quite happy to do this, and it gives a layer of transparency that small distilleries, you go on their website, they don't do it. Handy tip for the smaller guys that are watching: put out your mash bills. People appreciate this. Gives them an idea of what they're drinking. Now, if you go on the website, apparently George Dickel, um, when he started back in 1870, um, liked to liked to distill in the winter because he thought the colder weather helped it. So what they do with this, apparently before they put it through the charcoal maple, is they chill it. Now it doesn't say to what they chill it to, but um, I assume they don't freeze it. I assume they just chill it down. Now, what that means and how much of an effect it has, don't know. Uh, the one thing about this story, I'm just trying to read this thing. Located in Tullahoma, Tennessee, came for the moonlight, stay for the whiskey. George would want you to. Um, Cascade Hollow, tucked away by time and mountains. If you come down for a visit, you'll find not much has changed. I think there's probably plenty has changed. The internet, cars, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, who am I? I haven't been, so it's handcrafted small batch. I don't know what they mean by small batch. Now, yeah, there ain't nothing better. It says here. So one thing about it is that during Prohibition, this distillery continued because it was able to do it for medicinal reasons. So they have a bit longevity, actual history, and continuous that they proudly boast. A little bit of checking the colour, lots of colour, as you expect from American whiskies, and because of that charring process, because they're using uh, new charred American oak, the colour comes in really quick, and obviously most of the stuff we have back home It's refilled. You know, it's refilled bourbon casks. Now, first thing you notice with these is the vanilla just pops up. You know, it's you can't not get it. You know, anybody who's tasting any bourbon and doesn't get vanilla, go and have your taste bud, the nose checked, because it's always going to be there. And it's sort of boring to say it. And it used to be uh, reviewers say, "Oh, it was tonka beans." Fuck, never ate tonka beans, right? You know, people come up with all these things, and it's no frame of reference to anything. But because they didn't want to just say, "Oh, it's vanilla," it's vanilla. We know it's vanilla. Quite happy to say that all the time. Quite fresh fruit. Little element of banana. Uh, Banana peel. You know, whenever you peel a banana and that sort of fresh note comes off, it's that rather than the actual banana flesh itself. I want to say there's a note in there that is a little bit surprising, and it's tiny. It just appears there, and it's when I say this note, people kind of think it's an off note, and it's not. It's like very 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 fresh fish. Um, it's quite a faint smell. It's not fishy. It's just a very very faint fresh fish note. It's tiny, but it's there. And cherry aid. Um, you can't get away from cherry aid, and there's quite a lot of wood there. Uh, Probably a little bit too much for me, if I'm honest. But it's definitely good. It's definitely cherry aid. No, uh, not cherry coke, cherry aid. The sort of overly sweet, sickening lemonade stuff. You know, very pop. Now, on the note on the palate, again, sugary note. The vanilla's there, obviously. Um, Sugary note, and it's quite saccharine sweet. It's a little over sweet, and again, you're getting quite a lot of wood there. Um, on the finish, that cherry note comes back in again, but it's dropped down. It's not just as sweet and sort of sickly uh, coming at you. Um, I'm not particularly liking this at all, if I'm honest. It's over sweet. It's tastes artificially sweet, which I really don't like, and it's probably picking all of that up from one from the charcoal, then onto uh, the casks. The wood's coming through too much. There's too much of the wood coming on. That's it's not really all that pleasant, and it's sweet that in a way that doesn't really work for me. Uh, it's more like granulated sugar sweet, uh, which doesn't really work. Cherry lemonade. We call it cherry lemonade. It's cherry soda, or whatever you want to call it. It's not really for me at all, if I'm honest. Um, there's a little bit of it taste reminds me of some sort of cough medicine. Which, by the way, everybody I know that's got the cold, you can't find cough medicine. So maybe the reason this was kept open during Prohibition was because it was medicinal, because it kind of tastes a little medicinal. Um, this is a reasonably priced. As I say, it's like $25-$30 a bottle. It's not. It's easy to get. Um, this is okay. It's okay-ish. I wouldn't be in any great rush to buy another bottle of George Dickel, if I'm totally honest. Um, but in saying that, they sell quite a lot of it, so there's obviously someone that is quite keen on it. But if I was marking this, not for me, I would give it a 5 out of 10. The rye element to it, just noticed there, it's 8% rye. It's not giving me the rye's not really doing anything for me here. It's not giving you that sort of rye spice, that element of what rye normally does. There's not really anything in it. I would, yeah. The corn sort of overtook it, and it just basically works like that. It's a bit too sharp. No, not really worked for me at all. Too sort of saccharine sweet. 5 out of 10, and I wouldn't be in any great rush to get it again. Bit of a shame. One of the old legendary brands of the US. But anyway, go out, enjoy yourself, and pick yourself up a bottle. Tell me what you think of Dickel. Um, I know there must be loads and loads of fans of it out there, but if you are, let me know, and I will see what you have to say. So listen, watch me and Justin on Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Irish Whiskey Review. Don't forget, comment, like, share, and let me know what you think. And take care. I'll see you soon.